Here in the U.S., paid maternity and paternity leave are in the spotlight as big-name companies seek to take a lead on the issue. Just last week, Netflix announced a policy of 1 year of unlimited, fully paid parental leave for its employees. Now, within 24 hours, Microsoft followed suit, bumping up its paid leave for all new parents to 12 weeks, with an additional 8 weeks for mothers who have given birth. Outside of the well-funded tech world, though, maternity and paternity leave in the U.S. still trails well behind other developed countries. Take a look at this map. The United States is one of only 3 countries in the world that does not guarantee any paid maternity leave at all. The other 2 are Papua New Guinea and Suriname. That's according to the U.S. Department of Labor. Only 12% of U.S. private sector workers have access to any paid parental leave through their jobs. I want to get some perspective from Blake Mycoskie, CEO of Tom's Shoes here in the U.S. Blake introduced a policy of 8 weeks paid parental leave after becoming a father himself, and he joins me via Skype from Jackson, Wyoming. Blake, it's great to see you, and congratulations on fatherhood. I'm sure you're getting a lot less sleep than you were before.
Yes, if I have bags under my eyes, that's why. But thank you, Maggie. It's been an incredible
welcome to the club. Listen, you made the decision to guarantee not just maternity, but paternity leave as well. And you actually took the leave yourself as a CEO, which is unusual. How did that experience change your view on this topic?
Well, I think what's interesting is about 3 years ago, a lot of our young employees were starting to have families. And so we decided then to have maternity and paternity leave. And I'd seen several of the guys in my office take paternity leave, but I had seen a lot of guys also not take it. And so when it became my turn to become a dad just 8 months ago, I decided that I was going to take the full paternity leave to set an example and really show the other guys in the office that this is something that not only we offer at Tom's, but we highly encourage.
Now, Blake, a lot of people out there following the news coming out from Netflix and Microsoft say, all right, great, these companies are offering the benefit, but frankly, people, and especially fathers, are afraid to take it because it's going to hurt their careers.
Yeah, I think that is definitely a conception that a lot of people have, but I think what I found is that when either mothers or fathers are not taking it, they're not being present at home, and they're also not being the best employee at work. You know, they're tired, they're thinking about their child, their spouse, you know, they're wishing that they were at home, but they're at work, and so they're actually not as productive. Yet, when they take the paternity leave, they come back refreshed, fully connected. Yes, maybe not as much sleep, but they have really connected with their new child and their spouse, and they come back fully engaged. And we're seeing that actually productivity is much higher when they come back, because they feel that they've done that very important part of bringing a child into the world in the right way.
That's right. And a lot of people also talk about creativity. You know, sometimes you get out of your surrounding and you can unplug. It's when you get your creative juices flowing, and that's important, you know, in most entrepreneurial ventures as well as tech. I want to ask you a question. Parental leave has come up as an issue in this upcoming presidential election that we're already getting into here in the U.S. And some candidates, including the former Hewlett-Packard CEO Carly Fiorina, say it's not up to the government to mandate. Let's have a listen to what she said in one of the debates.
I don't think it's the role of government to dictate to the private sector how to manage their businesses, especially when it's pretty clear that the private sector, like Netflix, like the example that you just gave, is doing the right thing.
Blake, how do you feel about that? Should the government mandate at least some minimum amount of leave?
Well, I think the thing is yes, some examples like Netflix are great, but they're so there's such a minority. I mean, as you stated, we're number 3 of the only countries in the world that don't offer paid maternity leave. I think the strength of our country often comes from the strength of our families, and the strength of our families are going to start at the very earliest moment of bringing a child into the world. So I do think there should be, at least some mandated maternity and paternity leave in our country.
And Blake, you know, as a new father running this, is this how costly is it? I guess what I'm asking is why haven't more companies done this? If you're finding your workers are more productive, if there is a benefit to this, not only as a retaining talent, but also just having plugged-in employees, why aren't more companies doing it? What's holding them back? Is it costly, and is it hard to overcome that financial burden especially for a younger company?
You know, I think that the cost is a misconception. I mean, we could go on for a long time talking about the benefits, retaining, attracting talent, having them come back more refreshed, more creative. I think the reason why companies aren't doing it is just, you know, it's a change in philosophy, and they have this fear that every hour that my employee is not working is a lack of productivity and a lack of profits. And I think that as we're finding, that's just not true. And over time, especially as the media covers this important topic, I think more and more companies will start offering maternity and paternity leave.